what do you think it means? Desperately
Wow.
seeking. Maybe it could be desperately seeking an orgasm because the husband haven't given one in years. Anyway,
And there's the title for the episode. PenPop.
Susan!
Good going, stranger.
Hello, my name is Ary.
And I'm Dante.
And this is PenPop. Today is the Queen Mother, Madonna. We love ya.
Queen Mother, Madonna, I love ya. Vogue.
That's right. Vogue. Actually, it's not that song. It's Let's Party with Into the Groove. Released on July 15th, 1985 by Madonna, the Infectious dance song was featured in the movie but not officially on the soundtrack for Desperately Seeking Susan, a comedy film directed by Susan Seidelman about a bored housewife and a city girl who are linked by the personal section of a newspaper and swap identities.
The movie stars Rosetta Arquette, Aidan Quinn, and the material girl herself writing off the success of her album, Like a Virgin. Written and produced by Stephen Bray and Madonna Into the Groove, was never released in its own single in America by Warner Brothers Records to not let Madonna get overexposed, and tagged in a B-side to the single Angel. Let's get into it. One of Dante's favorite songs, and my song, that's one of my favorite songs. The fuck you put in that script? He said Dante's favorite song. My favorite song.
Now wait a damn minute, because I thought you were a pretender, stan. So sorry, I was misinformed, because the last time we talked, you were saying, I love pretender, I love pretender, I love stay, I love Shooby-Doo.
Do not put that on me, because I skip Shooby-Doo every time, and you're fucking shady for that.
I'm not saying you don't like it, but I'm saying of your favorites, I thought it was pretender.
He's a pretender. He knows just what to say. He's a pretender.
No. Angel and Don't Get It Twisted. That's one of my favorite songs too.
That's my fave too.
I hated at first with Shooby-Doo because I didn't understand the fuck out of it, but now I play it every time. There's not a skip enough. There's no one song that I skip.
Exactly. No, it's a skip list. It's timeless. It's classic, preserved in the National Recording Library of Preservation. Thank you. I almost forgot the name. It's another perfect song, I have to say. But we're not analyzing the lyrics to that song yet.
It's time to get your pens out.
That's right. Let's get into lyrics and our first thoughts on Into the Groove.
I'm in my pen.
Ari.
Let's get into the groove. So the way I knew was you put like a compilation thing that you sent me once. Because as y'all know, I had to listen to Madonna before, and it went to Madonna, Like a Virgin, True Blue, and that was it. And
now
he had to push me to continue, which
I'm gonna work on him. I
continue with. I'm sorry. What was it? What's the other one? American Live.
Yes.
And what's the other one after
Confessions?
that?
Confessions on the dance floor.
I don't think I got to Confessions. But anyways,
he's still in the process.
Just made it to Mariah, people. Let's give me a break, okay? Like, y'all don't let me get obsessed with someone and then all of a sudden want me to jump. Like, give me a minute. I got
we had concerts. However, you have an assignment extension until January, so you're good.
Exactly. I had Madonna on August 14th, but the bacteria got to her, and so
because we're living in a bacterial world.
Exactly. So I got more time to study and do my assignment in February. Is it February? January 20-something. When is it?
January 12th. Don't tell me you have a shift. Oh, well, I'm going without you. Sorry.
Inspiration! Come on!
And I got into it ever since, Into the Groove. Yesterday, I watched the music video for the first time. I knew the song, but I watched the music video for the first time. Was it the one with the part of finding Sally, whatever her name is? What's her name? Susan. Susan. I saw. It's a video intertwined. It's kind of. It was giving. I see why. What's her name? Celine did the Titanic and the integration of the Titanic and her singing, because Madonna did it first. I saw that and I got the thing.
What a trip that was. Wow.
Why?
I don't know the way you said it. I feel like we were jumping from side tangents. It was very like me coded, you know?
It is. But
I had
your
no
story-
idea. No, I'll keep it short. Don't worry. Honestly, I didn't watch the music video till a long time too, like not till like grade 8, I think, because it's not like it's not one that's in rotation a lot, I guess. I had no idea it was a B-side or part of the movie. It's just like one of those songs that overshadowed the film and stands on its own. Like I know it from the Celebration compilation, and it's just always been in my life. And again, it wasn't on an album, so I think that's why it's a little bit harder to find. So I know it from the compilations, the Immaculate Collection, Celebration, whatever. Well, it's on the UK version of Like a Virgin, so they got it. And then in the US, you had to buy the Angel, get the B-side Into the Groove. And actually, I just recently bought a copy of it. I found it at a record store called Cosmos Records. They had great rare records. They had the True Blue single. They had the Angel single. So I grabbed that. And the best part was it was like an old record store where you could get to test it. So I tested it. It was great. And then I got home and it's not working on my record player. So I love that. So Angel works, thank God, or I would have been pissed. Anyways, before we start, I know we really went on a side tangent here, but I just want to get it out of the way. Madonna is a good actress. I don't give a fuck what the people say. The critics were hating because they just didn't want to see Mother dominate two different fields. It's the same thing when people say Beyonce's not a good actor. She is a good actor, okay? They excel at everything, and y'all just hate to see it.
True.
Now, Shanghai Surprise, I can't defend that. But everything else is great.
Alrighty, let's get into these lyrics.
And we start with those opening iconic synths. And you can dance for inspiration. Come on, I'm waiting.
And you can dance for inspiration. And it's true. I think music, when you dance, you get inspired by the beat, by the track.
I was just talking to my friend, and they were talking about going to the Renaissance tour. They actually went in Florida, by the way, in Tampa. We were going to go there as a backup, but we didn't. So that's funny. And they were talking about how when they went to her concert, it was like inspiring. And you saw even like Gail and Oprah posted about it. It was a life-changing thing. And that's how I feel about music. Music, it keeps me going. It is my adversity. It is my determination. So if you give me a good beat, I can handle anything.
I agree. Like a good beat can get you through anything. Like even when I'm going through any problems or anything like that, like too much in my head, I just put a good track. And I'm telling you, like you forget that the world exists. Like you get lost in the music and the lyrics. I mean, you even anecdotes to your own personal life.
Yeah. And when she's saying like, come on, and like, I'm waiting, like I relate to that because like I'm always the one who's on the dance floor constantly. And, like my friends or the family, like I need to sit down. My feet hurt. I don't know what it is when music's on and you give me a dance floor. Like I'm up, I'm standing. We stand for the music. I don't know where I get it from because I really, as we can see, I don't do much physical activity. But when I dance, I get some sort of burst of energy and I can go till 4 a.m. No problem. No liquids, no food, nothing, no air. I'm good. Well, I definitely need a fan, but that's it. Like I can go all night.
I can go all night.
No, I think it's more like it's just like I don't know, a feeling. It's you forget about the world.
Anyways, so we go into the chorus. Get into the groove, boy. You've got to prove your love to me. Yeah.
Okay, so get into the groove, like get into the groove. But also, what was desperately
like get into the beat, desperately seeking Susan. So Roberta hits her head basically. So she's following Susan because she's like infatuated by her because her boyfriend writes in the personals and they meet at the pier, whatever. And her husband's boring, so she's like her life's boring, so she like follows her around and basically she hits her head, and then because she's wearing Susan's jacket and she has her bags and everything, she thinks she's Susan and she's the key to the locker or whatever. So everybody thinks she's Susan now. And then Susan, I forget where she went. She goes to her friend or whatever, she goes to visit her friend and she goes back to her locker and then she finds out that someone took her key.
She's trying. Okay, so I'm trying to think with getting to the.
So well, I guess like because like Susan is hanging out with Roberta's husband, who is kind of like, who is this woman? Maybe, right. and she's her character is very like seducing, like party girl, city girls.
I'm a motherfucking city girl. Period.
So I mean, I don't think the song really has much to do with the movie, but like I see I know we're trying to make connections here, but I mean it could be kind of like basically the scene is that they're dancing in the club, and he's not part of that culture. She's like this is natural to her. She's part of that night culture, danceteria, whatever.
Well,
So I think it's kind of like get on the dance floor. Like you want to get with me, you gotta dance. You gotta come into my life and see my peers and
because
be
in the
exposed to
movie,
that to my world.
there's little like snippets of them dancing, so that's when they like do like a little dialogue there, but I can't
Yeah.
hear what the fuck's to him.
Yeah, you can't really hear it. And that's the point. I think it's intentional, is that like it's very jarring for him because he's in this new wave club where everybody's like dancing and sweaty and barely anyone wearing any clothes, and he's like this yuppie, used to suburban life, hasn't gone to the club since like his high school early 20 days. So he's kind of like, okay.
I think you're mistaken. Roberta doesn't know anybody in Atlantic City.
Seeing them together
Saw Roberta with another man? Who?
looks like a real greaseball to me.
He's out of touch, basically. And she's got her finger on the pulse of culture. But I think it was just like a general like party anthem. So it's like, get into the groove, come on the dance floor, like let's have a good time. And it's like a playful challenge. Like if you wanna love me, you have to dance. I wanna see you dance. Let's see what you got. Because then next she's like, get up on your feet, step to the beat. Boy, what will it be? Are you gonna get up and dance, or are you gonna sit on the sidelines? This is not gonna work. I'm a party girl. I'm a city girl.
I'm a motherfucking city girl.
But also
And you're not.
in the more like normal lifestyle in a way, like get into the groove, like step up into like get up on your feet, like don't be lazy, get your ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
Step to the beat of life, which is what I was gonna say before, and you can dance for inspiration. It's like also like life, getting into the groove of it.
Yeah.
Of the rhythm of going up and down and living and just falling out of love.
Exactly.
Falling in love. Like, it's like having that and being able to do for her in here. But I don't remember what the story, like that's what I was trying to relate it back to the story.
Well, I think it just like relates to Madonna, because I think she kind of brought the song to it. Like that is the type of person Madonna is. She's a very like go-getter. Like if she does something, she's gonna do it. Like she's not gonna be like one of those people who talks about it and never does it. I think we all know those people in our lives who talk and complain that I'm gonna do this, and then they don't do shit. She's a very much a woman of speaking things into existence, and she has, this is a very early example of songs where she is talking, this is a common topic in all her songs, where she's talking about doing something, yearning for love and going to get it, yearning for sex and going to get it, being in control of herself. Like I think of at the top of my head, like Gambler. She's talking about, I'm a gambler, I'm gonna do what it takes. And into the groove, are you gonna do what it takes? Are you gonna step to the beat to be with me? Or even I'm thinking later on when we get to Hard Candy, the song, the beat goes on where again, she's saying in the lyrics, don't sit there like some silly girl. Like, come on, get up, get down, beep, beep, gotta sit there like some silly girl. If you wait too long, it'll be too late. I'm not telling you something new. There ain't no time to lose. I forget the lyrics, but she's basically saying kind of the same thing. She's like, you gotta step to the beat. Anyways, so we go into the first verse. Music can be such a revelation.
It's also it's a feeling that you can't explain. I think that's what music can do, something give you the emotion that you can't feel, like you can't say it out loud. So that's why I think it can be a revelation. It can be a discovery to a certain emotion or a certain feeling. And
it's also a communal thing. I mean, and again, it's funny. I'm just reading this back. Like, again, you don't realize it when you're singing it, but she's talking about revelation, almost like a biblical term, kind of like how priests and preachers, they say like, it's better to go to church to be in the community of other people. You have your relationship with God personally, but then you also have your community of people where you sing and you dance and worship God. And it's just funny how she's saying revelation, when later on she would go on to do like a prayer, justify my love, and the crucifix. It's very on brand. Dancing around, you feel the sweet sensation.
Dancing around, you feel the
like the music's like, it's like sugar. It's like you're gonna eat it up. It's something sweet for the kids,
And tying it to the revelation, like that sensation of, wow, someone hears me, someone knows what I'm going through. And that's why we relate to artists. Like they're able to tap into a certain feeling or an emotion, a sensation that creates revelation.
Yes.
There you go.
We might be lovers. We might be lovers if the rhythm's right. So again, are we compatible?
Yeah.
Do you like the same music as me? Are you gonna be okay if I do this? Are you gonna hold me back? Because often we get into a relationship, we settle. Well, not me. Y'all be easy though. But a lot of people, they get into a relationship and they settle and they kind of sacrifice like a part of themselves and they lose their identity. And I think that's how we can bring it back to Roberta is she is like a stay-at-home housewife and her husband is kind of giving her all these chores and basically her whole identity is revolving around pleasing her husband, like making dinner on time, picking up his car, picking up his dry cleaning, whatever.
And that's why she wants to be Susan. She wants to be the bad bitch that Susan is. That doesn't
Exactly.
care about any. And maybe she's saying, trying to think, because maybe she's saying from the perspective of Roberta, like we might be love if the rhythm was right, like saying to him, like this shit ain't for me. I don't want to be a wife mom anymore, like a house mom anymore.
Well,
I want to be Susan.
I don't want to spoil it for y'all, but in the end, that's kind of what happens. Roberta finds her own way.
Exactly, that's what she's saying here. So the music does have something to do with it. Otherwise, the director wouldn't have put it in.
Yes. Okay. So Madonna, you did that.
I hope this feeling never ends tonight. Does Roberta go to the club too? Yeah, right. She like parties it up. She likes to party it up, and yeah, maybe she just feels the rhythm. Like she doesn't want to go home. I hope this feeling never ends tonight. Never wanting to go home back to her life of chores to deal with her husband who probably doesn't pay her no mind. So I don't want the rhythm. If the rhythm's not right, I might stay here. I might change my life. The revelation of like, damn, this is not for me. I want to be Susan. I want to be like Susan.
And even in that scene, like when they're in the club, like Susan is very much a person of like, let's have fun. And when they're at the house, she's like, do you have any pot? She's like eating their Cheetos. She's by the pool. Like she's enjoying their lifestyle while they're in the middle of a crisis. Like she's very much an embodiment of let's keep the good vibes going. He's trying to talk to her in the club and she's not really caring. She's like, let's not talk about that right now. Like, let's dance. And he's like, we're trying to find my wife. Okay, so we go into like a pre-chorus. Only when I'm dancing can I feel this free. So again, kind of reiterating what we said before. At night, I lock the doors where no one else can see.
Roberta saying like, sometimes, and also too, like, don't you just lock yourself in a room, or not even in a room, like even. Like,
I was gonna say your tour performances. I think when we're in the shower or we're home alone, we all don't dance like we would in public. We don't sing like we would in public. We pretend we're on the Renaissance World Tour.
We all have like our own like little personas that come alive with the music and by yourself, because we restrict ourselves when in public. Like you don't want to dance that way because what they're gonna think of you.
You're conscious about image. Oh,
and no one else no one else can see what you do by yourself, and it's truly the best way. You feel free. You feel the most liberated when you're dancing to a good fucking song, starting it up, church girl. You know what I mean? Like you're not feeling outside the street or even in your marriage. So she's saying, no, baby, this is my me time. And then she goes,
I'm tired of dancing here all by myself. Tonight, I want to dance with someone else. And again, it's sometimes you crave that community. Like often, I don't know. I just
and
no, Roberta definitely needed some of that. But I'm just saying, I was really.
And she wanted not to dance with her husband no more. She wanted to dance to the rhythm of some other one else beating her at her coochie. And anyways, I said it when no one else wanted to say.
I thought this was a classy party.
We are in an institution of education now.
Education with a little degree of reality. Get it?
I was just going to say I relate to it because sometimes you get tired of dancing by yourself and you want to go to a party, or when you go to like a wedding and the DJ's like fucking up.
Roberta was saying something else. She wanted some different sensation.
I guess so.
She wanted a different revelation. She wanted to be taken higher. And she felt like something else. And Susan, what do you think it means? Desperately seeking, maybe it could be desperately seeking an orgasm because her husband haven't given one in years. Anyway,
and there's the title for the episode.
Madonna's not talking about the groove of the music; she's talking about the groove of getting intercourse.
Anyways.
I'm sorry, I just put out the reality of.
No, you're absolutely right, but I'm just saying it could also be interpreted in just like sometimes you get tired of dancing at yourself, so that's why you go out to a place where people dance. But I was gonna say is that why does nobody want to dance no more? I'm sorry, nobody wants to dance. The clubs are not hitting. We're all just standing around. Well, again, it's not me. Y'all be easy though. But why does nobody want to dance and have fun no more?
So I think the people don't got rhythm now, and the tracks now, even though it's like house is kind of like more or disco, you can dance more like jumpy kind of dancing around. Now we don't have that anymore. The songs are more complex. They're more beat oriented.
Boring.
Ooh, You said it. And then
Thought it was fun. I like the beat. I mean,
Definitely, I thought it was fun. I like the beat.
they're not easy to dance to. And when you have TikTok, which just whites out the entire, musicality to or dancing abilities, there's no way to dance. I'm sorry. And people are also boring. People boring. People tired. People want to sit there, get a boyfriend or girlfriend from just sitting there.
again, I guess I have high expectations because I thought after the pandemic we were all going to be outside having fun, but nobody wants to have fun. There's no event spaces where people just want to like dance. Like nobody's watching. Come on now.
I see it as, first of all, me, I don't go outside because I don't do that.
But when you watch old movies, don't you see like the dancing scene? Like every time I watch an old movie, I'm thinking like, wow, I love our generation. Like I wouldn't say I was born in the wrong generation. Like I'm more than happy to be in this generation because we got $1 cassettes. But there's a part of me that misses that old, like, I guess people just cared less. It was more fun. I just feel like it was more community.
But this is also all they had. This was their nightlife. Right now, just want to, like, they don't have anything else. Back then, that was the moment. That was you go in your party, you go and you dance, a little boot.
I guess.
And now people just want to, like, they're boring. People don't want to do anything.
People don't make albums anymore. People want to have fun anymore. I mean, people don't want to start podcasts anymore. I mean,
let's move on. What I was saying was, Madonna said, get into the groove. You know what groove I'm talking about. Boy,
yes.
You got to groove. Prove to me the word. Your love to me. Get on your feet. You know what she's talking about. Step on the beat. Step on it. Get on it. Get faster. Get
right.
Wrong.
You're so right.
Boy, what will it be? What's it going to be? Gonna get to know you.
Exactly. He's got to dance with her to get in bed. If you want to get in bed with me, you got to get on the dance floor first.
What people read behind the line. And then
second verse.
Gotta get to know you in a special way. What she's saying.
And that I interpret as sexual.
This doesn't happen to me every day. Roberta's saying, I was working like literally 2 minutes ago. This don't happen daily to me. I'm
yes. Yeah, because she quite literally goes on a whole adventure, has a concussion, and has a identity crisis.
There you go. Don't try to hide it. Love wears no disguise. I love that line. Don't try to hide it. Love wears no disguise. You can't hide something. You can't pretend you're not something you're not. You know what I mean?
It comes out naturally, or you can try to suppress it, but
you try to, but eventually it wins. There's no way that you can do it. And see the fire burning in your eyes. Is a desire that wanting for her, Roberta, for either Susan or Roberta wanting for another guy. Does she end up with another guy?
I don't want to spoil it, but basically she tells her husband.
The mastermind.
Basically, the husband is like, so he finally finds her and they reunite, and he's like, so let's go home. And she's like, actually, no. She's like, you're going home alone. I'm staying here. And she lives her new life.
Does he get with Susan? No.
No.
Okay.
No, Susan gets back with her. Her boyfriend basically goes on tour. So he asked his friend to watch over her because there's someone hunting her for the earring that she got. And he falls in love with Roberta, and Susan goes back to her boyfriend. Before we move on, I just want to say, like, I really love this part vocally because, again, I feel like we don't give Madonna as an artist enough credit. I love the way she goes up and down. Like, she gives emotion. Like, I heard someone say, like, the reason why Madonna was more successful than people who sing better than her is because, like, she really knows how to sell it emotionally. You hear that yearning. And I love where she goes, like, she does little things, in a special way. In a special way. Or in the live version, she goes, like, she's like, in a special way. She... In a special way. Emphasizes it. And then it goes from, like, low to high. She's like, doesn't happen to me every day. To me every day. I guess each end of the verse ends in a high note. And I love the don't try to hide it, love wears no disguise. I see the fire burning in your eyes.
I guess accentuating that information. When I heard it was like very her what do you call it? Like it's very much her, voice.
Club anthem. Like, only when I'm dancing
is free. At night I lock the door when no one else can see. I'm tired of dancing here all by myself. Tonight I want to dance with someone else. Exactly.
I don't know if it's a sound effect or maybe it's just in my head, but I feel like when she says like, at night, I lock the doors, I feel like there's like a clap or something. So it kind of like represents the door shutting. At night, I lock the door where no one else can see. I thought that was interesting. It reminds me of in Michael's Thriller when he's talking about different things in the verses. There's like different sound effects happening. Last chorus, get into the groove, boy, got to groove, whatever. So then we get into this really cool like post-chorus bridge thing. It's kind of stripped down a bit and her voice is shining, but it's like layered harmonies and it's like, live out your fantasy here with me. Just let the music set you free. Live out your fantasy here with me. Just let the music set you free. I think you're right. It's about kind of like taking somebody home. But you're debating while you're on the dance floor. I'm like, like, should I take this person home? Like, I don't know. Like, they're kind of cute, but I don't know. You're fantasizing about what will the night lead to.
Also, like for the Roberta girl, like the fantasy of wanting to be Susan and just this is the time. This is where Susan is her most herself in the dance floor. So this is your fantasy. Just let the music set you free. Maybe that's what Susan does.
And then, like Ary's theory, she says, touch my body, move in time. Now I know you're mine.
Also the fantasy can be anything in the bed. Touch my body and move in time. Move to the beat. Now
Come on, Mariah.
Now I know you're mine in the sense that like you fell into my trap. This is it.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Trap.
You've got to. And we go into the chorus again. Only when I'm dancing can I feel this free. And then we go, live out your fantasy here with me. And I think even as a little kid, it's very repetitive, even though there's a lot of different verses, but like because they repeat it, I know it by heart.
That's one thing I have to say, that's the one thing I do not like about the older songs. Too repetitive. It's to drive the point home. I get it.
They were longer.
But after like 3.5, and that's a problem. Now, I'm not saying that music shit. I love it. It's just, it gets a little bit the same thing,
Because you're used to the 2-minute songs.
Exactly. There's not a repeat. It's lyric, same. And we're not used to that anymore. Like back then, they had to elongate it to make it last 6 minutes.
And
you know what I mean?
but would you agree that I think that's what makes it iconic because it's so in your mind and even when it's around you, you remember it more.
The chicken or the egg situation, was it because they were trying to make the song 6 minutes, or was it because they wanted to put the point in your head, or kind of what was it? I
think in terms of the club and disco context, they wanted it as long as possible to extend it, but they made separate mixes for that. They kept repeating it or breaking different parts so you could like extend the time of the song for the DJ before he has to change the next record. But I don't know. I just feel like the radio, there wasn't so much of a time constraint, and also people had more of an attention span back then.
I'm saying even if we ask your parents, they're gonna be like, now if they listen to a song, they're like, why is it so short? Probably because back then they only listened to 6-7 minutes. Like if you listen to Crazy Jones, maybe you're gonna have a prelude, then the song, and then an interlude. You know what I mean? Like
and I love it.
It's so many, and I'm like, by 6 minutes, by 4 minutes, I'm like, oh, we're still here. I thought we
Donna Summer, Love to Love You is literally 16 minutes.
Because at the same time,
11 minutes is the radio cut.
Yeah, like if you listen to the same song, you think you're in a different track because they switch up so many like melodies and tracks and like you know like they switch it up. You're like, oh, we moved to the next song. No, we're still in the same one. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's so engraved in that. That's why for me sometimes I'm like, ooh, it's a little bit repetitive. And I'm like, I get it. I know you're mine. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, for me, it can keep going and going. I don't care. And that's why it repeats and it fades out. It doesn't just end because the whole point is to just keep dancing, keep going.
But that's what I'm saying. Music back then was more for the people because it's only like, I feel like back then it was more of an experience when you listen to music. Now it's just an escape.
Mm-hmm.
Get to it.
Or a TikTok hit. Get honestly, that's really what I wanted our podcast to be. But it's there's a lot of copyright issues, and I feel like there's somebody else who has that.
Like I just feel like back then people, like you said, disco, they went to disco and like they danced. Now we don't dance. You're right. There's no because
I love dancing.
They don't make albums like this anymore. They don't make songs like this anymore. They don't make soundtracks like this anymore. We got Lin-Manuel. Anywho,
but thankfully we have albums like Renaissance, which are trying to bring it back, and those are the type of things I appreciate. Okay, let's take a break, and we'll be back. Ary will be back. He's going to get water. Let's take a break, and we'll be back to discuss all things Madonna Mania.
Hey guys, we're stopping our very own podcast for our very own fake ad until we get sponsorships.
We love manifesting. Make sure to follow us on whatever social media you're on at PenPop Podcast to get notified for new episodes, because why would you miss them?
Or just talk to us in general on our personal accounts at Dante __ and at Ary Dominguez Official.
And if you like what you're hearing so far, don't forget to leave us a rating or review from wherever you're listening to this podcast.
And now, back to PenPop.
PenPop.
Now that we've analyzed the lyrics, we have to get into the rollout of the song. the music video, the movie, and a little bit more.
Yes. So once again, Madonna and her then boyfriend, Stephen Bray, produced and co-wrote the song and modified it once it got involved in the movie. One of the scenes is actually filmed in the infamous club Danceteria in New York, where Madonna, Grace Jones, Sade, and more frequented.
Into the Groove is a dance pop song featured drums, synth, and several bass lines, trebling double-track voice recording, a medium tempo of 116 beats, and in the key of C minor.
Yes, and only the movie and the B-side, Angel vinyls, have the true original master. So in the movie, that's not the final version of Into the Groove. It's the demo. It's not the one you hear on Celebration and the other compilations. On streaming, each version featured on other Madonna projects like You Can Dance, The Immaculate Collection, Celebration, and Finally Enough Love. They all have different versions. If you ask like a hardcore Madonna fan, I always see them talking about on Twitter, like they are complaining because each compilation, they still haven't gotten that demo, and the average Joe has no idea. Like again, I wouldn't have known that unless somebody pointed it out. It's hard to hear. It's very slight variations, and it feels a little less finished and glossy.
Get into the groove, boy, you got to prove. Get into the groove, boy, you got to prove. Get into the groove, boy, you got to prove.
In 1999, also a great Taylor Swift album, Into the Groove, was named the best dance single from the 1980s by Billboard. Madonna was named the best-selling dance artist, and it was the best-selling dance singles tied with Janet, Miss You Much.
Again, the song was ineligible to chart in North America due to its B-side spot, but Angel went on to peak at number 5. So there's a part of me that wonders, did Angel peak at number 5 only because Into the Groove was the B-side? Because it is her best-selling physical single and best-selling dance single.
And definitely, yeah. But also
That makes me sad because I love Angel.
Because of the movie, or was it by itself? Because Angel did it by itself.
I'm saying
project.
Well, but the movie was great promotion because it was featured in the movie, and you could only get it by buying Angel on cassette or vinyl. But Angel was meant to be the A side, and she pays Angel dust every time. There's no music video for it, no live performances, and it breaks my heart because it's a great song. It's the best song on that album, in my opinion. But the thing is, like, I never hear about the fans saying that, like, oh, I only bought Angel because of Into the Groove. This is just an assumption that I'm making because nobody talks about it. But it is one of, like, the best, like, known B-sides. Can somebody tell us? I wasn't around.
In the UK, became Madonna's first #1 single and best-selling single there as well, reaching #1 in Australia, Ireland, Italy, Spain, and the Netherlands.
International hit, what can I say? Again, as we talked about in the beginning, Into the Groove's music video is just simply film clips put together. And on that note, let's talk about its usage in the movie, the performances, the interviews, and more. Okay, so let's talk about the music video first. We have a couple different things going on. We have the I don't know why this is iconic, but I see it all the time of like Madonna like drying her armpit under the bathroom, what do you call it? Dryer thing in the bathroom. I don't know why that's iconic. It is.
The bitch was hot. She was trying
she was drying. She was doing a little bird bath moment. I think it was because she kept her arm hair or something. And I don't know, but I always see that when people are talking about the song. Just most of the time, like when people talk about the song, they always use the clip where she's drying her armpit. Why?
This is funny. Who does that?
I guess. I don't know.
Anyways, I liked it. I liked the performance of her character. The acting, it was fine. There was no notes.
Well, a lot of people say that like this was one of her most successful movies and most critically acclaimed roles because she was sort of playing herself.
That's what I was gonna say. It's very much her, something she could be. That's why I felt like there was no difference. Like it's just okay. That's how Madonna is. Now I wouldn't know if she was to play like a.
Where in other roles you just think of her as Madonna.
Yeah, like if she was to do like a Virgin Mary, I don't think she would be a good role. But because of Susan, she was great.
I think it's a really fun, like silly camp movie. I like how it takes place in like the early 1980s New York City. Like that really fascinates me. It's kind of before the peak of AIDS and the gentrification. You have the art scene thriving. You have Keith Haring, Basquiat, Warhol. You have the new 80s stars like Madonna, Sade, Grace Jones. Imagine that. All these stars are literally working in Danceteria. I'm sorry, like these three amazing people are just casually brushing shoulders with each other, clocking in the shift. Well, apparently like her and Madonna were working there, and like Grace Jones was always like performing there. So like basically like after Studio 54, Danceteria was like the new it place. So like everybody went there. But like there was also iconic people like working there as employees. Like they were washing the glasses, whatever. So what did you think about the movie, like from the clips you've seen it?
I thought it was interesting. I mean, it's just like a very 80s movie. It's not my jush. It's very much your jush. I knew that. The minute I saw a clip, I'm like, yeah, that's you, but nothing. It's not me. I don't do old shit. Y'all know that. I come from the old shit. I don't want it. To me, it's not something that appeals me. I understand the appeal for what it was. Like the music was great. I do love the older music. I don't do like the old movies or anything like that. So to me, it was like, okay, it was just, yeah. But like, I liked her. I did like
Yeah.
some character that it's like, that we love. It's like Atomic Blonde. It's like bad bitch. Don't give a fuck. I'm dancing. I'm pumping my kitty on the, I'm on the floor. Don't matter. Roberta, okay, girl. That's all I had. What did you get from it?
I mean, same thing. Like I watched it the first time, like on one of those movie websites, because it's hard to find. It's not readily available on Netflix or anything. Well, now it's on Tubi, but before it wasn't. And same thing. Like I liked it because I like the old shit. Not too old though. Nothing too old. But I do like my 80s. And again, like I couldn't take my eyes off her and Rosanna because they're stars, and it's just funny like how big they became after it. And the comedy, it wasn't like the funniest movie ever, but it's like it's fun. It's a good comfort watch, I have to say. Like I don't understand the concept of comfort watching when people rewatch shows, rewatch movies. Like for me, like once I've seen it, like I can't watch it again because I know what's gonna happen. But that's comforting to people. It's not really, it's just boring to me. But that is a movie that for some reason I do keep coming back to. It's not necessarily my favorite movie, but for some reason I keep coming back to it. So obviously there's some sort of appeal there. Okay, let's talk about the performances. Any performances that stand out to you?
Live Aid was really good. The fucking crowd was huge.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Crowd.
And the big ass screen they had to have for the people in the back.
Yeah, literally the cube that Beyonce had in the fucking Formation World Tour. There was that many. I was like, oh my god.
And imagine how hot it was.
Like she was sweating. You can tell her little hair.
Yeah.
Right here.
So basically, she was wearing clothes.
That bitch was singing. Like
I know. And she was playing the tambourine. I could not multitask like that.
Dancers were on point. Loved. She knows how to carry the stage. And
Truly. And did you see, like, I don't know if she says it in this one or if she says it in another one, because she did a couple songs. She did Holiday, she did Into the Groove, and she did Love Makes the World Go Round before True Blue came out. So she was like debuting a new song there. And I think she was saying like she was all clothed because everybody was telling her, because her was it Playboy or somebody took her nudes and sold them to Playboy, and it was on the cover. And then like everybody was like, oh my god, like, are you gonna like take it down whenever? And she's like, no, I'm not ashamed of it. But people still like gave her shit. And so she made like basically a statement by wearing like heavy clothes that day. And she says the infamous line, like, I'm not taking my clothes off because they're going to hold that against me in the next 10 years, as in referencing the photos that they are holding against her at the moment. So I think that's iconic. That's what I remember from that. All the legends there. Tina, Sade was there. She did Your Love is King, Queen, whatever. Like these were back-to-back hits. I mean, one day I want to watch the whole thing. Actually, one of our guests on the show, I won't say who it is, their parents were actually there in attendance. I thought that was very interesting. Like, if I had to go to a music festival, I would go to that. But, like, we're never going to get that lineup again. So I ain't going. Is there any interviews? Wait, let me double check everything.
Well, it was the interview while they make
Yeah, there wasn't, she didn't really say much. The behind the scenes are really cool. If you guys want to check it out on YouTube, there's like, the thing is, like, it was just really long. I didn't find anything particularly interesting. It's kind of just like them, like, filming stuff. They're talking about, like, what are you planning for next year? And she's kind of sort of already talking about, like, the Like a Virgin. She's like, I'm planning a tour. I'm planning a new album. Because they were filming it before, but then it came out after.
Alrighty, so it's time for the sign off. What are your final thoughts on Into the Groove?
It's iconic. You can never go wrong with the dance single. I love it. Probably one of my faves. I know it's a lot of people's other faves. I just really love the instrumentation of it. Even like the live versions are just as good as the studio versions. Like I love the Blonde Ambition tour version because it has a lot of bongos and stuff. I really love a good percussion moment, bongos, maracas, and stuff like that. But I was also thinking why I wish people would do B-sides like this, because we have an amazing song, Angel, and then it's the other side is an even more incredible song. I feel like people already sell, like when a new single comes out, like now people are, to boost sales, they do the limited time cassettes where it has like the instrumental as the B-side. Why are we not doing B-side songs? Like, I think that would be a really cool way to boost sales again. Why are we not bringing that back? I mean, imagine like bongos. They're most likely going to do exclusive cassettes and vinyls for it and CDs or whatever. And it's most likely just the song and instrumental. Why don't we do another song from the album?
B-sides are what?
Well, I guess the point of the B-side is like an incentive to buy it because it's not just one song. But like usually there was a B-side from the upcoming album, or sometimes it wasn't on the album. So that's why you had to get it.
B-side is for singles only?
Well, like I said, like sometimes it ended up on the album, sometimes it didn't. But basically you're putting two different songs and the A-side is your single. the B-side is just a song that comes with it. Because sales are dead right now, but people are still doing the cassettes and stuff because, the bundling with Billboard to get those first week sales. I feel like if they put a B-side, even more people would buy it. I collect cassettes, but like I don't collect modern artists. And to me, like if I saw the Bongos cassette had like a B-side of Cardi's upcoming album, maybe I would buy it. Because to me, that's more of an incentive to purchase it than just Bongos when I can get it on streaming. Like that, I don't understand the modern cassette thing. Why would I buy it if it's on streaming?
My final thoughts into the group. It's a great song. The movie, it's great. Y'all can watch it. I don't know where. Tubi. But at the end of the day, it's a great song. Y'all gotta give it to her. It's meaningful to Susan. Thank you guys for listening. So the goal now would be for me to finish all and Madonna's
MDNA. What the fuck is MDNA? As Cher once said. Yeah, like the day the album came out, she was like, I was hearing MDNA this, MDNA that. And I just tweeted, what the fuck is MDNA? She didn't know. Madonna.
I kept seeing this what was it, MDNA? Yeah. I kept seeing MDNA and I just thought, finally I just wrote, what the fuck is MDNA?
I want to give a shout out to the people in Finland who made us go top 3 for our Like a Prayer episode. We love you. We love you. I love Finland. I need to go there. That's the first place I've never been to Europe. I'm going there first.
Please, Madonna fans, make us number ones everywhere, just like it made her.
Rebel Hearts, come on now. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Make sure you follow us on socials, leave us a review. You know the drill. And we'll see you next time on PenPop.
Bye-bye.
Bye.